If you have knee arthritis and you'd like to avoid a knee replacement, then you probably know that you need to strengthen your knees. But how do you do that without making the pain worse? In this video, I'll share my top 5 exercises to strengthen your knees safely and effectively. Now, when I see patients with knee arthritis in my office, the 5 most common complaints are difficulty with walking, standing up after sitting, going upstairs, going downstairs, and getting up from the floor. So the 5 exercises in this video are going to simulate those activities in a pain-free manner. The more functional a strengthening exercise is, the better it helps you not only improve your strength, but also your quality of life. So the first exercise is to help you walk more comfortably. Now, walking doesn't require a lot of knee strength, but it does require strength out of your hips and ankles in order to prevent excessive motion in this direction. When you're walking, the primary motion is in this forward and backward plane of motion. However, it's usually the rotational and side-to-side planes of motion that actually end up causing knee pain. When you get too much twisting in your knee joint, it can grind the joint surfaces together and cause pain. So in order to walk more comfortably, you need to prevent those rotational motions in your knee when you take a step. In order to do that, we're going to do a simulated walking task. And to do this, you're going to start out taking a step and loading your weight over this front foot. You want to try to balance your weight over this front foot and then lift this second leg. And you'll notice that my arch collapsed a little bit there unintentionally. And that's what happens to people when they're walking, is that their arch collapses, their knee goes inwards, and that causes stress on the ligaments of their knee, as well as grinding of the joint surfaces, particularly if you've lost some cartilage in your knees. So load weight over this front foot, get your balance over it, try to kind of grip the ground with your toes so that you're protecting your arch and keeping your arch lifted. Then lift your foot up and try to balance over this front foot. Then take a step just like you would when you're walking, push off of this back leg, and then get your balance over the leg again. Then take another step. Step over the front leg, push off the back leg, balance while keeping the arch of this front foot lifted, and then take another step. To see that in the opposite direction, you'll take a step, keep your arch domed, balance over this front leg, push off the back leg, and then step through. Balance over this front leg, push off the back leg, and then step through, and so on and so forth. Repeat that sequence for a minute or two, going back and forth as needed. That helps you develop not just the strength, but also the walking sequence to walk properly without overpronating your foot and causing your knee to go inwards. The next exercise is to help you stand up from a chair more comfortably. Standing up from a chair requires strength in both the side-to-side planes of motion as well as the front-to-back planes of motion. In the side-to-side plane, similarly to when walking, if you allow your foot to flatten down and knees to come inwards, as many people do, it can create knee pain when standing up from a chair. Furthermore, if you use your thigh muscles or quads too much and your glutes not enough, that can also create some knee pain. So for this exercise, we're going to do a sit to stand, but do it using proper biomechanics to decrease the stress on your knees. To see this from this view from the front, you want to think about driving your knees outwards and again kind of gripping the ground with your toes. This helps maintain your arch and help keep your knees aligned over top of your toes. So think about driving outwards, and you're not really trying to drive outwards, you're just preventing your knees from knocking inwards. And drive your knees outwards, lean forward so you get your center of gravity over top of your feet, and then just think about pushing your hips underneath of you while keeping your knees driven out. Then to sit back down, it's just the opposite. Keep the knees driven out, drive your hips backwards, lean your trunk forwards, and it should be a slow, controlled sit. So we're just going to repeat that as an exercise, turning the knees out, leaning forwards like this, drive your hips underneath of you, and then drop the hips back. This is very much just weight shifting. There's not a whole lot of muscle effort that's going on in order to do this. So lean forwards, your weight over your feet, Drive the hips forward using your glutes, and then come back down. Now to see this from the side, we'll turn this way. If you use too much knee extension, if you don't lean forwards enough, this requires a lot of quadricep force to stand up straight like that. But if you do lean forwards, you can activate your glutes a little bit more, and then you're just going to think about driving your hips underneath of you by squeezing your glutes, dropping your hips back, allowing the knees to bend, and coming back down. Lean forwards, get your weight over your feet, drive your glutes underneath of you, squeeze right here, coming back down, you're sticking your hips back, allowing the knees to bend, and then coming back. And just repeat that again for an exercise. Now, if you do have a lot of trouble or a lot of pain standing up from a chair, you can make the exercise a little bit easier by taking a pillow and just raising the chair or using a higher chair to begin with. Then the technique is basically the same. You think about driving your knees out, leaning your weight over your feet, driving your hips underneath of you, and squeezing your glutes, and then sitting back down. And as you get stronger, you can take the pillow out and progress to a lower chair. The next two exercises are to help with going up and going downstairs, which seem very similar, but biomechanically they are quite different activities. When you're climbing up a stair, you're using your muscles to accelerate your body upwards against the downward force of gravity. When you're coming down, gravity is actually doing the work. You're just using your muscles to slow down gravity so you don't go too fast. For going up a stair, you're going to do this similarly to standing up from a chair, just now you have some more instability because you're on just one leg rather than two legs. But the technique is somewhat the same. So put your foot on the stair, lean your body weight forward so you stack your center of gravity over top of your foot. Think about turning the knee out, get your balance over the foot, much like the first exercise when you were walking, and then drive your hips underneath of you to come up the stair. Coming back down the stair, you just sit your bottom back and come back down. So lean forward like you're standing up from the chair, drive your knee outwards, come up, and then come back down. It is absolutely okay and probably a good idea to hold on to something for balance. So do this on a real stair with a handrail or put another chair next to you for balance purposes. Lean forwards, get your balance over this front foot, drive the knee out, and then come up. Think about how many stairs that you have in your staircase at home. Usually it's around 12 to 15. And try to do that many repetitions with one leg, and then repeat on the other leg. So put the other leg up, stack your center of gravity over top of that foot, drive your knee out, push your hips underneath of you using your glutes to go up the stair. So that's stepping up. We'll see that from the side angle. Put the foot up this way, lean your trunk forwards, drive your hips underneath of you. So it's more of a glute activity. If you do stay too straight up like this, it makes it more of a quadricep activity and often makes it more painful on your knee. But if you lean forward, stack your center of gravity over top of your foot, and then think about squeezing your glutes and pushing yourself forwards, that makes it much easier. Now the next exercise is for stepping down the stair. And if you were to do absolutely nothing at all, gravity would take you down the stair, which is often a less painful way to actually walk downstairs, is to just hang your toes over the edge and let gravity take you down. But if you do want to control it and learn to walk downstairs more comfortably, it helps to start with that stepping down motion when you're not actually on a stair, where it's a little bit safer and you won't have the risk of falling forwards. So stand on the ground, put your foot out in front of you, and then do the same motion, a single leg mini squat, as if you were going down the stairs. Again, it is okay to hold on to something for balance, or another thing you can do is just slide this other foot along the floor, keeping it in contact with the floor while bending your knee as if stepping down. This is the eccentric or lowering motion of going down the stairs and then coming back up. And again, you want to try to keep your trunk relatively more upright on this, going down that way and coming down, because you can't really lean forwards as you're going downstairs. So practice it standing straight up, sliding out, sliding back, and so on and so forth. And again, you'd want to practice that on both legs as well. Now, the final exercise is to help with getting up from the floor. That's very important, especially if you happen to fall. In order to get up from the floor, it helps to be able to do a lunge type movement like this. It is a good idea to have something to hold on to where you can go down for balance. And if you look at what we're doing here, you're sitting back, keeping your weight more on the heel. This emphasizes your glute muscles more versus if your knee is over top of your toe like that, that emphasizes your quadriceps. Also will put more strain on your knee. So keep your weight back on your heel, lower yourself as far down as you feel comfortable going, and that may just be a little mini lunge at first, but try to keep your shin relatively vertically, sit back, and try to drop down like this. Another common mistake that I see people make when doing a lunge is they keep this back foot flat on the floor, and if you do that, you often get blocked from going down lower. So take a wide stagger, put your toes on the floor, heel up off the floor, keep most of the weight on this front heel, and then again, think about turning your knee out to the side, going down like that. And again, it may just be a little mini lunge at first, especially if you're first getting started. And remember, just do this as deeply as you can, comfortably without causing pain. Now, if you can only go a little ways down, this doesn't necessarily help strengthen you in the lower part of the range of motion. But one thing you can do to help in that part of the range of motion is just sit on the side of a chair without arms, like this. Put one leg out to the side and behind you, and then load your weight over this front leg. Then just push the heel of the front leg down into the floor, thinking about trying to lift your bottom up off the chair. And it's very likely you won't go anywhere, but you should feel a contraction in the glute muscles or the butt muscles of this side. And then hold about 5 to 10 seconds, and then relax, and repeat that for 10 repetitions. So those were the 5 strengthening exercises to help you relieve knee arthritis pain. Now, if you'd like more tips to relieve knee pain, check out this playlist over here. But before you go, if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you can get notified of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.